Mic mic check.
Just check to
Make sure
everybody.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Made them adjustments. So let's see if the sound is still working. Sound check. Sound check. Not sure why I got an echo. See if I can work that out. Okay, sound check. Sound check. Sounds like I might have got rid of the echo. Sounds like I might have got rid of the echo. Let me just warm my sound just to make sure I can this echo else that was going to be a live tonight. Okay, next up, double check it on my other device. Let's see how it goes. Sounds good. So, 6 minutes in, let's get to it. Ronnie Lawson. I was just looking around on the internet a few weeks ago, and I came across something, and I was like, "Oh, interesting." And then shortly after that, I was watching something on TV. I was straight, and this case came up. It was something I had seen before, but it's like a while since I saw it, and so it really didn't stick out to me or even come back to my memory. But I was watching it again, and I heard Hawkins County, so my ears perked up. Then I heard the last name Lawson, so I really got interested. So that was I was looking around on the internet, um, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I came across something, and I was reading. It was an old news article from 2013. When I got to reading, seeing the names in it and the charges, and I was like, this is something to share one day. Well, since then, I just keep like coming across stuff. So I'm just gonna share it with you real quick. Then I'm gonna get off of here. Now this one is from 2013. You see the 13, 2013. 32 individuals convicted of cocaine, marijuana, and oxycodone conspiracies. And this is coming from the United States Department of Justice, Eastern District of Tennessee. Tennessee. September 2011 and February 2013, the 13 individuals listed below have all pleaded guilty to various drug conspiracies related to cocaine, marijuana, and oxycodone. Well, here get to reading. The very fit pops up. William A. Lawson, 66, Rogersville, Tennessee. Now, if you've been following Summer's case, there was a video, actually several videos captioned something like "Local man gives insight," and it's a local from the Rogersville area that's telling about the, just that part of the world. And he goes in depth explaining about how most of the people around there are related. He explains about how the hollers get their names, how this family ties into that family ties into that family, until eventually, when it all boils down to it, basically everybody up there is some kin. If you follow After Dark, she did some videos where she dug into um, Don Wells's family tree. Um, family relationships through marriage. You're going to see some of those names pop up here too, some of those family names. I have that every Lawson that's mentioned in the stuff I'm going to share with you is some kin to Ronnie Lawson. I'm going to say, based on the information from that local who did those videos, and based on Michelle After Dark's research into the genealogy of Don Wells's family and how those mechanics and dynamics work, I'm going to say the likelihood is that most that you see in the information I'm sharing are going to be some kin to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson. Now, we saw the first name was William, 66 of Rogersville, 20, Rogersville. And you got 7-year-old Mike from Limestone, Tennessee. Here's what we got, a light right here. Out of Rogersville, another Lawson. Out of Limestone, another Lawson. Another one. There's a bunch of them. Dykes, I think that's a name that came up in Don's genealogy. Another light. One or two more Lawsons. I remember it's all related to conspiracies involving cocaine, marijuana, and oxycodone. It says this investigation began in 2009. It's significant to note that Sheriff Lawson has been in law enforcement since 1976, and he became the sheriff of Hawkins County for the first time in 2010. And I get that from P, where they mentioned him becoming sheriff in 2010. So this investigation started the year before he was actually sheriff, which was probably during the campaign. And I did not look up what he was doing immediately before being sheriff. It stands to reason the way that it goes. He was either a member of of a local police department or he was a sheriff's deputy in that county. Then kind of the process of climbing the tree. Anyway, the investigation began in 2009 and targeted individuals in the Tennessee counties of Greene, Sullivan, and Hawkins who were trafficking large quantities of cocaine and marijuana supplied by trafficking organization in China. In addition, individuals in Tennessee were distributing large quantities of oxycodone pills obtained from Nevada and Georgia. In 2010, Lang and other individuals opened the Liberty Wellness Pain Clinic in Norcross, Georgia. Began using the clinic to obtain oxy for distribution in the Eastern District of Tennessee. In April 2012, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, in Georgia raided the clinic and shut down its operations. During the investigation, the DEA, in conjunction with agencies in Tennessee, North Carolina, and Georgia, seized a total of 100 kilograms of 201 pounds of hundreds of oxycodone pills, multiple firearms, approximately $2.5 million in cash, and 3 parcels of real property in the Eastern District of Tennessee. A little fly-by-night junkies on the corner. Whatever. This was a high level operation. In total, the investigation revealed that between 2002 and 2012, approximately 6,545 kilograms of marijuana, 35 kilograms of cocaine, and over 20,000 oxycodone pills were distributed in the Eastern District of Tennessee by these individuals. Hawkins County, Tennessee Sheriff Ronnie Lawson stated, "This is the first time in the history of Hawkins County that local, state, and federal agencies have teamed together to rid one community of a terrible drug problem. It gives me great pride to be a part of that." It's crazy because a lot of these people share his surname, more than likely related to him, being from that same area, in that same county. And since we know what we know about how those family relationships work. Next up, so that was 2013, and there's a point to me showing all this, not just to show relationship to the sheriff or throw any kind of question marks in his direction, but there's a point, and I'm going to tell you about that at the end. All right, Brian Stephen. This was another one of Sheriff Lawson's relatives. Now I had it written down. I believe he is the nephew of Sheriff Lawson. I don't have those notes with me, and I don't have that notebook with me. But I looked up Ronnie Lawson, whose name actually isn't Ronnie, it's something else. But I looked up Ronnie Lawson on Ben Verified, and this guy, Brian Stephen Lawson, actually comes up as one of his relatives, and I believe it is the child of one of Ronnie Lawson's siblings. Well, in 2017, Brian Stephen Lawson here shot and killed his wife, Beth Chandra Lawson. Long story short, he got sentenced to 15 years. He is still in prison. Starting to look like the Lawson family has a propensity for criminal activity. All right, this article is dated. I want to say this one comes from, okay, this is from 2019. So this is from July of this year. $115,000 worth of meth, heroin, ecstasy found during Hawkins County traffic stop. Around 8 says officials with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office said a traffic stop led to the seizure of more than $115,000 worth of drugs. Investigators received information that Georgia registration would be delivering a large number of illegal drugs to an address in Rogersville. So that's the traffic stop, and what they found, according to reports, investigators discovered illegal drugs under the hood of the engine, inside a purse in the and pants located in the trunk. Officials said they seized 1,131 grams of suspected methamphetamine, 52 grams of a substance believed to be gray death fentanyl, 39 grams of pink rock-like substance believed to be pink heroin, 720 dosage units of multicolored pills believed to be ecstasy, and 3 grams of brown rock-like substance believed to be brown heroin. The drug had an estimated street value of $115,300. So that's a decent sized haul of drugs that was on its way to a destination in Nashville, Tennessee. This article is from August of this year, and it says Hawkins County Sheriff Office seized pounds of marijuana over $19,000 in drug money, which pretty much speaks for itself. What they received exactly was 18 pounds of marijuana, 1 of dabs THC wax, $19,974 in cash, and electronic money, 4 drug ledgers, no firearms, 1,054 rounds of ammunition, and 11 gun magazines. It says that the marijuana alone had a of $58,000. Now I'm gonna mute my mic and just let that kind of sink in with you for a second while I pull up something else here. All right, sorry about that. I hope you are still with me. Okay, so that was the 18 pounds of marijuana. I know I'm moving kind of fast through this. I'm trying to go ahead and just like get it done so I can get off of here. Okay, here's another Lawson, James Lawson, school resource officer, former Clinton High School SRO, charged with solicitation of a minor for inappropriate conduct with 2 students. James also worked as an SRO at Clinton for about 4 months. He resigned the day he was accused of inappropriate conduct with 2 students. Clinton pulled it up. It's Anderson County, but let me pull it up again. It's only about 2 hours away from Rogersville. So, being that close, I'm going to venture and say he's probably part of the family too. Anderson County, Tennessee. But I'm going to venture to say he's in the family tree too. Another one of Mr. Ronnie Lawson's relatives. Put that on the map. Now that's actually all that I have that I wanted to present on this. And I wanted to share this. After I kept coming across this stuff, I wanted to share this for two reasons, right? One, because the buzz that I keep hearing in the true crime community is about Dirty Ronnie Lawson. Dirty Ronnie Lawson. And when I started to see how many of his possible relatives, likely relatives, are tied up in so much shady stuff, and I mean big time shady stuff, then I started to think, you know what? There might be something to it. And then also, one thing that Ronnie Lawson has been adamant about is that there's not really a drug problem in Hawkins County because Don was saying drugs, drugs, drugs. Lawson is always quick to say there's no drug problem like that. It's pretty quiet here, this, that, and the other thing. But we just read articles where drugs are a problem up there, dude. Like drugs are a problem in Hawkins County. I mean, I don't know what he could. Drugs seem to be a problem in Hawkins County, especially if that Rogersville is not that county is not that populous. So for you to have so many, for you to have so many high level drug conspiracy, drug bust in such a small, relatively sparsely populated area compared to other areas, then major problem. Somebody should tell it. So I have to wonder why, as a sheriff, would you? I mean, I know you don't want your town to look bad. You don't want it to look like your officers are like not up to par or not staying on top of um the problem, but to flat out deny that it's a problem when the information is so readily available that it is a problem kind of makes you question his reason for denying that the problem exists. So yeah, we see it's about 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours away, depending on how you drive, which way you go. And this last thing that I'm going to share, and then I'm out of here. Gray death fentanyl. And I was like, what the heck? What is gray death fentanyl? So I found this that has a definition, and it is from. Looks like this is like a actual the fentanyl. The people who I have no idea who this is from. Fentanyl.pro. And it says the Albany County Jail inmate found dead Saturday is suspected to have been killed by a lethal form of heroin causing overdoses throughout the South. Sheriff Craig Apple said Sunday. Apple released a statement Sunday concerning the death of Shane Limpearl, who the sheriff's office said was found unresponsive in his cell at 7:30 a.m. Saturday. I have no idea. An exact cause of death has not been determined, and autopsy will not be done until Monday. Apple said Limpearl was found with a dark gray powder hidden inside one of the socks he was wearing. A test of the powder revealed it to be a mix of, oh God, lost my place. A mix of heroin and fentanyl that investigators suspect is called Gray Death. It's deadly, Sheriff Apple said. We believe it was smuggled into the jail and probably passed through in a kiss. The drug has been known to have lethal. That's odd wording. The drug has been known to have led to lethal overdoses in southern states, but has not been seen yet by the Albany County Sheriff's Office or Albany County Coroner. The powder will be submitted to the state police for more testing. Here it is. Apple said Gray Death is a combination of over the counter and prescription drugs with heroin, fentanyl, and carfentanil, which is used to tranquilize large animals like elephants. So they went horse tranquilizer to elephant tranquilizer. Good Lord. So that's what Gray Death fentanyl is. It is a combination. Fentanyl, heroin, and elephant tranquilizer. Just not sure that sounds like something I even want to indulge in. Well, anyway, drugs are definitely a problem in Hawkins County, regardless to what has been said. To the contrary, we see it for ourselves, and it's not a recent problem. It's been a problem. That one investigation went all the way back to what, 2002? Here it is, 2002. So for at least 20 years, drugs have been a serious problem in Hawkins County. And apparently, Sheriff Lawson's kinfolk have been a problem in in Hawkins County as well, in Eastern Tennessee. I am off of here. I just wanted to share that little tidbit. I thought it was kind of interesting. I'll leave it to you to put the pieces together however you think they fit. The question is, how does any of this affect Summer Wells and finding Summer Wells? What does it mean for her? Do we have a sheriff who is too busy hiding of the issues and dangers in fiction to really put 100% effort into finding a missing 5-year-old girl? Do we have relatives of law enforcement officials who may or may not have been involved to some degree in whatever happened to Summer Wells? I don't know. Not my job to figure it out. But some of the things that I've read about the sheriff and just about that general area leave me scratching my head and leave me wondering if Summer ever stood a chance in Hawkins County, Tennessee, because of her family, because of her surroundings, because of other people in the community. Everything I shared is public record. News articles were shared under fair use. Look it up and see for yourself. As a matter of fact, if you come up with anything that I didn't present here, drop me a line and let me know, because I'd like to know about it too. And y'all have a good night.